Welcome to This Explainer. I'm Jamie, and today we're diving straight into something incredibly raw. We're talking about emotional pain and honestly, how to find genuine strength when you're in those absolute darkest moments.
And I'm Alex. We're going to get right into it because this is a conversation we all desperately need, even if it's a tough one to start.
So I want you to ask yourself, when was the last time life just completely hit you? We aren't talking about a random bad day or a minor setback at work. We're talking about that silence, really unglamorous reality of deep pain. The kind where you're literally just lying in bed, staring at the ceiling, utterly terrified to face whatever tomorrow might bring. It's so true. Society absolutely loves to share the glow-ups, the victories, and those grand cinematic transformations. But nobody holds up a camera when they are completely falling apart. No way. It's just this incredibly lonely silence. When you're struggling in the dark, it feels like the rest of the world has everything figured out, leaving you entirely isolated in your own struggle. But here is a massive perspective shift we really need to embrace. Pain isn't a sign that your life is fundamentally broken or that you've somehow failed. Pain is simply a sign that you are alive. And if you are alive, it means there is still a story actively being written. It's a powerful reframe, shifting our view of pain from an ending to a breathing, necessary part of our ongoing narrative. Absolutely. Let's move into section 1, the truth about suffering. We usually associate suffering with making terrible mistakes, but the hidden truth? Sometimes your absolute deepest pain actually comes from making the right decisions.
Oh, for sure. We often think the easy path is what we want. It's comfortable, sure, but it completely lacks real growth. It asks nothing of you. The right path, on the other hand, is rarely easy. It requires leaving the familiar, letting go of things you once loved, and choosing yourself. Because of that, the right path is always going to be costly.
So how do we deal with that heavy cost? Well, you have to realize it's not some punishment from the universe. It's a profound investment in yourself. Literally, every tear you've cried has bought you something invaluable. It's bought you strength you didn't even know you needed, wisdom that absolutely no classroom or textbook could ever teach you, and a depth of character that can only be forged in the fires of actual suffering. There is a timeless, incredibly powerful quote from Rumi that sums this up perfectly. The wound is the place where the light enters you. Let's just take a second to let that sink in. It's such a beautiful way to explain that when life inevitably splits you open, it isn't an act of destruction, it is an act of expansion. Your capacity to hold light, to understand others, and to empathize is actually growing through that very wound. Which brings us to section 2, when you feel like giving up. Let's be totally real for a second. There are these deeply visceral, raw moments where you don't want a profound quote, you don't want wisdom, you definitely don't want someone telling you it's going to be okay. In those intensely dark moments, you just want the pain to stop.
And that is incredibly valid. Grief deserves time. Exhaustion deserves rest. There is absolutely no need to rush past heartbreak. We live in this fast-paced world that constantly pushes us to just get over it quickly. But emotional exhaustion cannot and should not be rushed.
But there is a critical psychological boundary we have to draw here. It's the line between resting and being buried. Resting is a fundamental human need. It sounds like, I need time to feel this.
Right, whereas being buried is a dangerous lie your mind tells you in the dark. It sounds like, I will never feel anything else. Recognizing the difference between those two states is absolutely essential for your mental survival.
If you are currently trapped in that dark place, listening to us right now, please hear this. Still searching is pure strength. If you are hurting, but you are still here, still listening, still looking for something to hold on to, that very act of searching is an immense display of power. It doesn't look like some cinematic, heroic triumph, but I promise you it is the purest, most vital form of strength there is. Now let's look at section 3, the turning point. We often imagine a turning point as this magical moment of sudden healing, where everything is finally figured out. But really, it's just the quiet, unglamorous decision to simply keep going. Step 1, one more hour. Step 2, one more breath. Step 3, one more day.
This is exactly how mountains are climbed. Not in one giant leap of willpower, but step after step. Even when your legs are shaking, even when the summit is totally invisible, and even when you can't even remember why you started the climb in the first place.
And your why doesn't need to be some grand world-changing manifesto. It can be incredibly simple. The people who need you to make it? The future version of you who deserves to see what's on the other side? Or just the life you haven't built yet, but you know is possible?
Exactly. Those simple, grounded reasons, they are always, always enough.
Moving on to section 4, what hurt is building in you?
It's absolutely crucial to recognize the extraordinary person you are actively becoming precisely because you are carrying this heavy burden. You cannot carry this kind of weight without it fundamentally altering and strengthening your very structure. There is a stark difference between what comfort teaches us and what pain teaches us.
Comfort's great, right? It teaches you how to enjoy life when things are easy. But pain teaches you to endure. While comfort shows you what life looks like on a sunny day, pain actually shows you what you are made of when the storm hits. It's the ultimate test of human resilience.
And this struggle is universal among those who make a real impact. Every single person who inspires others, who leads, who changes the world, they all have a whispered chapter that nearly broke them. A chapter they definitely didn't post about online. A chapter that felt entirely like the end, but was actually the very beginning of their real story.
Let's get practical with section 5, the call to action. When the healing process feels agonizingly slow, what do you actually do today? When life still hurts and you don't have the answers yet, how do you practically move forward?
You do one small thing, just one. Drink a glass of water, make that one phone call, take a short walk, say a prayer, write just a single line in your journal. It's not about fixing everything at once. It's about proving to yourself that you can take one microscopic, actionable step to just keep the momentum going.
Remember, showing up broken is still showing up. You do not have to be perfectly healed or completely put together to step into the life that is waiting for you. Bringing your fractured, exhausted self to the table is more than enough. In fact, showing up, even in pieces, is absolutely everything. Life is going to hurt sometimes, and that isn't a flaw in our design. That is the design. We are literally built to bend without breaking. As human beings, we're engineered to fall, to experience that pain, and then to deliberately rise again. We are built for this, even on the days we completely forget it. Let this wash over you right now. You are not your worst moment.
You are not your hardest season. You are not the pain that found you.
Your identity is completely separate from the suffering you are currently experiencing. Instead, you are what survives it. That is who you are. So you have to keep going, because the world desperately needs the resilient, tempered version of you that makes it through this fire. The survival itself becomes your strength and your greatest offering to the world. When life hurts, that's not the end of your story. That's just the part that makes the rest of it matter. The pain isn't the finale, it's the foundation. So, as we wrap up this explainer, we want to leave you with this one question. How will you let your hardest chapter write the meaning for the rest of your life?